This one's so great. Everybody,
you couldn't put two neurotic people together.
No, that's why lesbian relationships don't last. Well, it is
that's
why.
going to get clipped.
It is why. It is why, because about 75% of divorces are initiated by women. And the simplest explanation for that is that on average, the most unhappy person in the relationship is going to be the woman. Well, why? Well, because on average, she has higher levels of negative emotion. That doesn't necessarily mean that negative emotion doesn't reflect problems in the relationship.
Yeah.
But she's going to be more sensitive to that. Well, so if you put two women together, well,
double
what do you
chances.
think happens?
Okay, guys, what do you guys think about Jordan Peterson's description here, which is basically women in general are just more prone to being unhappy or unsatisfied in a relationship? Do you guys agree with that? You just talked about this guy isn't doing enough for me, so I'm going to move on to this one. Do you guys think it's more women or men?
I think women.
Yeah.
Men want sex, food, and
but sometimes
that's interesting, Lucy.
enough.
What you're saying is that what men want are very, very narrow things, very simple. It's very simple to keep a man happy. Is that what you're saying, Avery?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Whoa,
okay, cool. Anybody else?
It might be simple to keep a man happy, but it's not simple to keep a man kept and wanting to be at home.
But a man gotta be.
He has to want to be at home. A man gotta
want to be at home.
Yeah.
Like he gotta want to be kept.
Right.
But also
you can do everything for them, and they'll still go out and be like, "Ooh, who's that?" You know.
But I think people also too are so stuck on what their type is or what they feel like they like. Or whatever, like we were talking about earlier, like you could be handsome, you can have money, like
you have to date your type to realize that,
right? Yeah. But I think a lot of people they go with what they think they like, or what society tells them they should like, and they can't never find their person because they're looking for what they think their type is.
Okay,
I think.
Bree, you wanted to say something?
Are there two of your fans of Jordan Peterson, like his teaching?
Sometimes he says some things I like, and then a lot of things I think are kind of nonsense. My issue with Jordan Peterson is that he evokes evolutionary psychology but doesn't describe it correctly, and that's the only thing. I think he's a good speaker. I think he's got a consortium of interesting people to come together. But I don't agree.
An entire section in his book about like dreaming about his grandmother masturbating.
Yes.
So I feel like. So I feel like if we're going to shame the guy for revealing his feelings about going on a date and not being stood up, I don't think we should be quoting the dude who's also talking about his grandmother.
We're just agreed.
You know what I mean?
Mic drop.
Thank you, Rolo. We found some common ground.
100% agree.
All right, so I also think it's ironic that they say you can't put two neurotic people in a room together and the two of them are sitting. Never mind.
Like you and I, or these two?
Michaela Peterson and Jordan Peterson. Like one of my favorite quotes from Jordan Peterson is the hyper users of social media are neurotic, and I'm like, bro, your daughter, bro, what are you doing, bro? Yes. It's just stuff like that. I personally don't dislike Jordan Peterson. I just think that he's a little misguided. He has a little bit too much trust me, bro, and not enough science. Does that make sense? It's the reason why he and I like Gad Sad so much.
Yeah.
The reason why he and I like Steven Stewart Williams so much. The reason why we like Hector Garcia so much. The reason why we like Marty Hazelton so much is because they're way more science and much less trust me, bro. And for me, I tried in this show to give you guys a lot of science and a lot less trust me, bro. A lot less trust me, bro. So here's the science. Ready? The majority of divorces are initiated by women. How much did he just said it in there? About 75%. Cool. So a lot of the women will say, well, the reason why we're getting divorced at such a high rate is because these men are not keeping up. They're not doing well enough. So what you can do is do what he just said, and you can control for men by just looking at lesbian relationships versus gay relationships. And what you're saying is true. Then gay men should get divorced at a higher rate than lesbians. And the opposite is true. Lesbian couples get divorced at 200% the rate that gay couples get divorced.
What about the issue of monogamy, though? Because I feel like a lot of gay men would tell you that they're okay with their partner, like,
being with other people.
There's also women that would say there's also women. For sure. That is definitely an issue.
My reason for leaving is that like the man wanted variety, which is I feel like the
no agree. I'm not. Yeah, he made a good point. I'm not saying there aren't problems in the relationship. I'm just saying if we looked at our default setting for a man and a man will take 80% of a solution from a woman and be happy, and a woman will take 80% solution of a man and be unsatisfied, and that's why there's an 80% divorce rate. That's all. The only point I'm saying. Did anybody disagree with that? I mean, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth or anything. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like in general. And by the way, women should be more picky. If we weren't picky, we'd all have AIDS and live in the Stone Age. If women weren't picky, there would never be any of this. All of this was built, like the fucking electricity, transistor, all of this all these polymers and the wood and everything was built because men were trying to impress. Men were trying to gain status over other men to impress women. That is the whole reason our society exists.
They're trying to find a workaround to get out of the 80th percentile.
Women, because women are selective, men created quantum mechanics. Not created,
so
but discovered.
So what you're saying is that like women make better men.
Women make men better, yes. So here's the thing. Here's an interesting thing.
Unintentionally.
Does my proclivity to want to be more attractive? I'm talking to my 22-year-old self. Does my proclivity to want to be more attractive to women make me a better man? Now it could make me a scumbag, but it also could make me spend more time in the gym. It could make me spend more time on my diet. It could make me read more books, become a better speaker, become a better networker, become more charismatic, become more humorous, become a better leader, and become more charismatic when it comes to women. It could do that. And in that case, you might be able to say, yeah, it does make me a better man. Me wanting to impress women might have made me a better man. Does women's necessity for attention make them better people?
No.
I'm just curious.
Well, wait a minute. Hang on, because you're changing it now. Like, what if I want to be a better woman for men? Like, if I want to do all the things you talk about,
you would be a unicorn.
All we have to do is be hot.
Bree, do you know a lot of women who are trying to be better women for men?
Yeah.
For your man.
For your man.
Got it.
I wake up to her and
It's not a direct comparison.
Wake up, cook,
like,
clean, all that.
You're talking
for Jason Momoa. Hell yeah!
Try to gain attention from women by doing things. Just
Say it
like
again.
there are men who do things to gain attention from women.
Yes.
Just like there are women who do things to gain attention, right? Like
And women are way better at it than men.
Okay,
We have to do
but
less,
there's
for sure.
that, and then there's I'm trying to be a better man to attract a good mate, and
Yes.
just like I'm trying to be a better woman to attract good mates. So you're comparing two different things right now.
Because men's primary validation comes from sex and women's primary validation does not come from sex. It comes from attention and eventually leading to resources and commitment.
Okay, but sex is also attention in a way as well.
No, so the difference is I would say sex is more compliance than attention. Attention is Allie Spoon sending the same nude to 34 dudes, and they all think that she's the only guy. That he's the only guy. Yeah,
I've never done that, guys.
That's attention. Compliance is Allie coming over and cooking dinner for the guy. Those are two different things.
Which I do.
Right, for sure. But you do it for the guy you like.
Yes.
Right, but the ones that you don't like as much, you're like, hey,
Allie,
subscribe my OnlyFans, swipe up $5.99 for this video.
Did you learn to cook?
My mom taught me how to cook.
Okay, but did you learn new recipes and stuff because you want to please the man that you're with, or men?
Yeah.
So would you say that you have turned yourself into a better
I,
woman
considering I
in
even have clothes
order
on right
to
now,
do
y'all,
so?
I've been in a
100%.
happy, committed relationship for the past
I
two
think-
months.
yeah.
I'm completely
I have
honest.
100%.
I love that.
And I have 100%, and
1000%.
like, because he is a like an orthorexic, where he is like very keen on what goes into his food. So because he's an ex-fat kid himself, so I learned to cook like more bodybuilder status and whatnot, and like flavorful, because I want to be a better cook and a better woman for him.
That's admirable.
He has specialty.
Yeah,
He has
I love
dietary needs that are very
no, it's not dietary needs,
Yeah.
it's preferences, but I want to be good for him in our home.
So you make an effort because
I make
there's
100%.
reciprocity.
Absolutely,
But
but it's
also,
reciprocated.
like, what woman doesn't want to know how to cook? Like, not to be.
I know a lot. I don't cook, I don't
Like,
clean, but look here, I still got this ring.
Topic du jour.
That's like my love language.
I taught
love
myself to
cooking.
cook, so
I think a big
My
difference
mom's
too is
my love
that
language.
Me
I think
too.
a big difference is that women, when we are doing these things to get the attention, or we're doing things solely, because I don't really think that way. Like, I'm doing this, I don't put my clothes on and like I'm doing this so a guy will like it. Like, I'm like, I look fly.
You don't do
like
it
how
consciously.
I guess, but
No one does anyway, but guys too. Just saying.
I believe that women, when we are trying to be better women, right? For men, I don't think it's for men in the plural sense. I think it's for our future man, or who we're with. If you're single, it's for like that man you want.
I
to
like
be
that.
with.
Yeah, I can
But
see
for
that.
men, they have to do. First of all, we just have to be hot, and that's the attention right there. Boom.
Yeah.
And then once they get to know you, then that's when, you know, if
Value added.
they start to see little things that you do, and then that's when they choose you as a mate. But men, men have to do more things to even attract women in general.
Thank
so
you,
there's
Myron.
5 things.
Thank you, Myron. Go ahead. Sorry.
There's 5 things that men have to do, and 1 thing that we have to do to get the equal level of attention.
Consideration.
But men, and I think whereas we're trying to improve ourselves as women, sure, for men it's for that one man, but men improve themselves for a multitude of women because their needs are simple and they can get that from kind of any woman. When we think of who we want to be with, it's pretty detailed. I'm sure we can all make lists of who we want to be with.
Our lists are a lot more detailed and longer.
Yeah,
than
because
men.
you have a laundry list, and guys have maybe 2 or 3 items on their list.